back and we're moving on. So I'm gonna drink this. Then he can take the phone after that.
Ness.
Elliot, I found Carlo Boccarini.
I knew you would, Alice.
Write this down. 31 Wicker Avenue in Lakeview.
Thanks. Nice work.
Elliot, what do you want with him? He's got a hell of a file.
Tell her the truth.
I think he's mixed up in a kidnapping, but my client doesn't want the police involved.
What are you getting yourself into? Who's your client?
Alice, I don't have much time. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks.
All right.
Tomorrow's going to be a long, long day.
Okay. So yeah, we gotta go find out who kidnapped Capone's daughter.
31 Wicker Avenue. This is it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
At last. That stench of stale grease about you reminds me too much of my old job.
Job?
You worked as a waiter?
I was a chef. And not in any old kitchen. At the maximum security penitentiary on Gore Island. Can't think of a better way to do time. And how do you think I met Alphonse? Playing golf?
Alphonse?
On the subject of cooking, I know your blueberry pie had an extra something. I still don't know what.
Alphonse?
So what now? You got a plan?
Take a look around, in case there's a rear exit. I'll take the main door.
My pleasure.
So, I didn't think that he had a job. I mean, people in the mafia normally do not work. They just do the mafia thing, you know?
The fact that a criminal like him can hang up his shingle in broad daylight says a lot about Santa Esperanza.
Okay, so I saw something right here. Let me check it.
Someone took out sections of the fence. Odd.
Okay, so let's go inside. There's something on the ground here.
Interesting taste. Been centuries since a gardener visited this house. Maybe Boccarini's business isn't going too well.
Okay, so let's try the front door. Let's try the bell. That don't
The
work.
bell doesn't work. I guess Boccarini doesn't get many visitors.
Hard.
Boccarini? Carlo Boccarini?
Nothing of interest out back. Sorry. You better come see this, Mr. Ness.
What is
Oh,
it?
jeez.
I don't know how to describe it.
What's going on? Oh. Oh. Okay. Was that a body? It's like a body and something was like... Okay, let's see what happens. These flies. Oh, yeah.
Is that our man?
Boccarini.
Jeez.
My God.
We have to find out who did this and why. Let's go.
You're the detective, Mr. Ness. Besides, Alphonse will want to see this. I'll be right back.
All right.
Jeez.
I have to establish how Boccarini died. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive.
Okay. So this is kind of like LA Noir, where you gotta look at the body and put clues together. LA Noir was like a Rockstar game, if you don't know.
Holy Christ,
this.
what the hell are we up against?
There's something right here.
His eyes were pulled clean out of their sockets. Whoever did
Nice.
this, it wasn't their first time. And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies. I must remember to ask Alice.
Okay.
His teeth were all pulled out before he was killed. The buildup of blood inside his mouth speaks for itself.
Eesh. That must have pained a lot.
Pity he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost pass for a tree. There's no doubt the murderer took his time.
Oh, this is nasty.
This isn't a cut, it's a tear. His hands were ripped off. Who has that kind of strength?
Okay, so what else can I pay attention to? Clues. Okay, so if we go behind here, there should be some clues, right? Or what? Yeah, I figured.
Once he got stuck in there, looks like the bottom of a glass. It's Boccherini, no doubt about that. Although the one I remember was more together.
Eesh. That's really a bad way to go. So let me see what the board says. So the board is asking me to put this together.
Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back.
So what exactly?
The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off.
And
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them?
a spoon. Anyway, let's look around.
Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several.
Something torn around there. Let's look around before we put the clues together.
The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall.
So let's go.
The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer?
Okay, so
Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy. Or maybe it was thrown extremely hard.
how is that possible? Is there... oh, there's a clue right here.
A perfectly circular dint. As if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt. Around 4 inches in diameter.
That should be like the bottle, maybe. The scratches, as if it was a tiger or something.
Fingernails scratched the wood.
And then on the ground.
Blood ran like water.
Okay, so looking around. There's a watch right here.
Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken? What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
So maybe it wasn't... The person didn't take it off, it was ripped off.
Blood. Blood everywhere.
Okay, so... let's move on and look at all the clues we can.
This was opened recently.
So there's a new clue. Somebody was drinking in here. There's another one.
Smells of whiskey.
So maybe the person tried to throw the bottle or something. Let's see this.
There's something under there.
It's a gun.
How'd it wind up under there?
Open that. And check
Not
it.
one round fired. It must have happened fast. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside.
Okay, so what else is around here? Some food. What is that?
What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar.
Oh, olives. Spaghetti, right?
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccarini's too worried about that.
Okay, so
4 glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine. I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one.
oh well. Oh, lasagna.
Leftover lasagna, and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them in cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccarini had company for dinner.
Okay. So I think it is, wait a minute. Is a missing
One
knife.
knife's missing, the biggest one.
I think it's safe to say that I need to put together.
Shut from the inside.
Safe to say that I've already gotten all the clues I need. Just need to put together the clues. So let me stand right here and do that. So assault.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. A pistol, fully loaded.
I think that would be the window.
Pieces of glass from the window in the hall, found inside the house.
I mean, somebody tried to get in.
A broken whiskey glass. Dirty plates. A door in the kitchen, blocked for...
Okay, so maybe
An
not
open
that.
bottle of whiskey. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccarini's back.
Okay, that's not really gonna be
A
this.
broken
This
whiskey
one.
glass found in the dining room.
That don't work. Okay, what could it be?
An open bottle of whiskey. I'd say Boccarini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccarini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin?
So, I believe the torture began at... wait a
2
minute.
pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table.
Okay, so the dining room table
Pools
must
of
have been
blood,
it.
one on either side of the dining room table. A broken table, scratched and covered in blood.
I think.
What looks like a blood-stained wristwatch with a broken whiskey. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for two. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware.
No, that's not it. This is a mistake I'm making. This okay, so I got two of them right. So the last one should be the watch, maybe.
A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken, and the bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position?
So he dragged the body.
The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall.
And he was stabbing it with a bottle.
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back.
No, that didn't work
The
out.
lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs.
What could it be?
A door in the kitchen.
You know what? I think maybe I'm missing
torn
a
off its
clue.
brackets and blocking the stairs. Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama.
Okay, so there's a personal question I have. The door that was locked over there, what was it for? Why is it locked? Maybe I should go this way and try to find some clues in the other way. Okay, excuse me. This way over here, yeah. And it looks like blood this way. Somebody was bleeding. Wait.
It's jammed shut from the
Also,
inside.
it's also
Maybe between
blocked.
the two of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen.
Yeah. It's the same door. Okay. Same side of, or else, same, it's not the same door, it's the same room, I mean. There's blood right here. This is a spoon.
Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Must be the tool used to pop out his eyes. Wait. Could actually finish that. Can I? Oh, that's right. I don't think. Wait a minute. No. Okay, this is what we want to figure out, and we got the
A
spoon right here.
teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. The mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccherini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest two possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it?
Cultist. But for that I'm gonna have to be able to prove it, and I don't have enough clues. Let's go in here and figure out what is in here. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
I should have stayed in my diner.
That, I figured it was something to do with a cult. This is sick and nasty.
At least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less.
Ugh, that's nasty. Okay.
What is that?
Sign on the wall. That's really
Looks
nasty.
like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in?
So I guess now we can complete, and it is a ritual. Motives must be ritual. Because of
Some kind of
this.
symbol drawn in blood. A sick
And
altar of
this.
human flesh. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Yeah, that's the big question that I'm probably not gonna figure out. So let's check the other room over here. The garage.
This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini.
Okay, let's find out. Checking the car.
Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo. A man's cigarette case.
Open it. Oh jeez, is it gonna fall off? No. Cigarettes.
Be one of the Boccherini clan?
Okay, so we got one clue as to who it is. So,
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way.
so the car is not Boccherini's, and there's no more clues I can find. So, there's only one conclusion to this. We found that
Dirty
there's a
plates,
guest.
glasses, and silverware.
No, wait a minute.
A car with Vermont plates.
And
The initials OB on a cigarette case. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house.
the door is locked, so...
A door in the kitchen, blocked from a door in the corridor.
Wait a minute, the
It
evidence
opens
is
onto
the
the same
food.
dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for 2. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up?
Yes. It looks so because the door is locked. I believe he's still in the house.
A door in the kitchen, locked.
No,
It opens
my
onto
God.
the same room as the door in the corridor.
I can't prove it with that.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the
He
murderer
didn't.
take them? Or are they still in the house?
He's still in the house.
A door in the corridor jammed shut. A door in the kitchen locked from the... One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Yeah, you do.
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
Jeez. That was a scare.
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, What can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me.
How long
Boccherini
ago
had
was
company
this?
for dinner. Someone
I
from
don't know what a
Vermont
camera
with the
is.
initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall. He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccherini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me.
Nobody in here.
Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible. But you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccherini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
All right. Let me for a second. Jail.
Why'd you go to jail?
For murder, but...
You didn't do it, of course.
Of course I did it. But I didn't intend to.
You're at a crime scene, and you sit down to read?
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture. Shakespeare's got it all.
Jeez.
We've lost the only lead we had to help us find Sophia Capone.
You think Boccherini's murder could be related?
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Alright, so guys, this is where I will cut this video. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video. Out!